Hello everyone, this is Miss Martinez with your problem of the day and writing prompt for April 8th, 2020. Hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you are completing this work. That's okay, we're all on different schedules, but I hope you're having a good one so far. So let's get started. All right, so our problem of the day, there are 4 books on a shelf. In the model, the shaded books represent nonfiction books. Which expression represents the fraction of the books on the shelf that are nonfiction? So what I went ahead and did is I covered the answers. That way we can work from our own knowledge, and then we can check our work with the answers that are provided. And just so you know, this question is from the 2018 STAR test. So if you are able to do this one with ease, that's great. You are doing great with fractions. If not, don't worry about it. We're still going to practice. So if you would like, go ahead and pause the video now. Try to do it first without me, and then you can come and push play again and just to see if your answer is correct. All right, so I'm first going to make sure that I follow the word problem like we were doing them before. So I have read, draw, write. We read the problem. We can go ahead and use the picture that we have for our draw part. That way we stay on track and just use what they gave us. But first, I want to go ahead and let's see what information we do have. That way we can use that first. So I'm going to underline there are 4 books on a shelf. So I have 4, no more. And in the model, shaded books represent nonfiction. I see some that are shaded and some aren't. It's good to know that the shaded ones are nonfiction. So I can't just go ahead and start counting and say, oh, 3 are nonfiction. That's an easy way to just kind of jump through the problems, because if you're saying 3 are nonfiction just because you can count 3, you're actually saying something different than the fraction that we're asking for. So be sure not to jump through that, and let's go through the process. All right, so I'm first going to see how many total I have. That's going to be my denominator, or the bottom number. So how many total pieces do I have? So I can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 total books. So that's going to be my denominator. And my numerator is going to be the number that I'm actually counting, or the number of that one piece. So for the first one, I have 1/4. I have 1 out of the 4 total pieces for that one. That's my unit fraction. For the next one, it is also 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. All right, so I have 4 total pieces. Each one is one of those 4, which is why we say the unit fraction is 1/4. Now, going back to my problem, the shaded books represent nonfiction. So I'm actually going to indicate which ones are shaded. And I have this one, and that one. Make sure not to count the unshaded because it wants nonfiction, which is shaded. So I'm going to go ahead and take what I have from my picture. That's the draw problem. And I'm going to go ahead and start writing. So I have 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. I add from the top the pieces, 1, 2, 3. So I have 3/4 of the pieces. So make sure that you do not add your denominator, because we're not changing the total pieces that there are. We're only adding how many pieces we're counting. So I have 3/4. Continuing on with the write process, 3/4 of the books are nonfiction. Are you following along, and did you get the same answer? Let's go ahead and check our actual answers. So, sorry, that's kind of flashing. But we have A, 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. We only have 3 of them that we're counting, not all of the 1/4, not all of the pieces, so we're not counting A. B, 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. Looks like what we got. C, 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3. So they got the wrong unit fraction for C. And D is 3 out of 1, and that's kind of doing the opposite, and we haven't gotten there yet. So they kind of switched up the numerator and denominator of just that. So there's a lot of things wrong with D, but we are looking at B as our answer. Now, it does say expression, and expression means that you're not giving the equal sign and you're not giving the answer. I did in my problem, but expression just means you are only giving everything except the equals and the answer. So expression does not include the equal sign. An equation does, and that's kind of like what we wrote, but we can go ahead and take our equation and make that into an expression too. So our answer is looking like B. So great job with following along with that. All right, and we are going to move on to our writing prompt. So our writing prompt for today is real superheroes. Superheroes in movies and comics can do pretty amazing things. But think of someone you consider to be a real-life superhero. What do or did they do to make them a hero? I picked this writing prompt because a lot of the times when we think of superheroes, we think of Superman and Wonder Woman and all these different characters that we see in movies and in comic books. But especially for what's happening today in our environment, in our life, there's a lot of people who are helping those around them who are sick or are may needing help that really these fictional superheroes can't provide for us because they simply don't exist. There are real superheroes in our life, and I can give you some examples that I thought of. The people that are still working at the grocery stores and at the gas stations, and people who are packaging and shipping all the food that we're needing for everybody staying home. I would consider that a real superhero. Also, people working in the medical fields, our doctors, our nurses, our aides, the people who clean the hospitals and the doctor's offices, all these people are really real life superheroes. And even your parents right now who are staying home, they're probably still working. If not, they're staying home and taking care of you and your family, or that might not even be your parents, maybe your grandparents or a family friend, just somebody who is taking care of you. I would also consider that a superhero. So go ahead and write about them and what is it that is making them a superhero? I would love to hear or see and read your writing responses for this one. I think it's super important and hope you enjoy writing about them. Again, don't forget to send a picture to your teachers so we can see your wonderful work and wonderful writing. Can't wait to read about them and share them with you soon. Hope you have a great day, guys. See you next time. Bye.